Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy. It's my pleasure. It's always my honor to be connected out here in nature and bringing to you this message of emancipation, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I want to talk to you today concerning the Eye of Horus and the scriptures. So I'm going to show you the Eye of Horus in light of the scriptures and how truly the stories in the Bible, they were actually borrowed and plagiarized from Kemet, which in other words I'm saying they were older writings of these stories by our ancestors way back in ancient Kemet. And when you can pinpoint certain scriptures in the Bible and you can dovetail them together, you would realize also. Now, let me say before I go any further that I am not a scholar in Kemetology or any such, but based on my experience, I am saying the things that I am saying with the little knowledge I have concerning Kemet when it comes to the theory side. But when it comes to the experience, I speak based on experience. And that is why you always hear me speak about Matthew 6:22, whereby I always give you the symbol of the single eye and tells you that it is the message or the single eye message of self-realization that I'm bringing to you. Now, when you look at the giant of the Eye of Horus, that was exactly the eye that would have awakened inside of me. And that was what really allowed me to give an ear to those who would have speak about Kemet. Because as I would have said in previous videos, that people were reaching out to me when they listened to my videos and was asking of me to learn about Kemet and to speak about Kemet. But I was more focused on just speaking on my experience first, because I realized from my awakening that you can get caught up in theory and get caught up in intellectualism and miss the greatest teacher, which is actually experience. And so my brother and my sisters, when you read Matthew 6:22, where it says, if your eye be single, your whole body be full of light, that is taken straight out of Kemetic science and out of Kemet. It is dealing with the Eye of Horus. It is dealing with that single eye, your God eye, the eye of imagination, teaching you of God in man. And that is why we must become one with nature and be in the right alignment, because this eye is connected to the divine. This eye can connect you to the ether. This eye can connect you to the sun, as in the S-U-N. And as we know, without the sun, as in the S-U-N, there could be no life and there could be no light. And when it says that if your eye be single, your whole body be full of light, this light is speaking of your enlightenment. It is speaking of your awakening, of your awareness, coming into pure consciousness, coming to discover that you are the invisible man. And all the Marvel characters are a reflection of that inner man. You are the Superman. You are the Spider-Man. You are the Iron Man. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, it is very important for people to know that the Eye of Horus is not an evil symbol. And it is not the all-seeing eye of some devil or some Lucifer or some evil deity outside of yourself. It is no such a thing as that. You see, many people speaking based on theory, but I'm speaking from experience. the I in man is God. And it's the all-seeing eye of God. And the Bible is telling you that in Matthew 6:22. And it is shown to you way back in ancient Egypt. And we know Egypt, Kemet, Ethiopia, it's all Africa. And the things you're reading in the Bible, they're all taking place in Africa. But you must be in touch with the real Africa, which is within, the real Kemet that is within. That's why the ancestors always say, man, know thyself. Because when you speak about if your eye be single in Matthew 6:22, it is teaching you concerning the kingdom. Because when your eye becomes single, that's when you'll be able to see in the supernatural world, the world of your true self, your higher self, your true essence. That is why that is when you will discover that the kingdom of God is within you. And that it is your own thoughts that is creating your personality and creating your reality. Then you will understand truly, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And you will realize that the entire universe is mental. And you must understand the law of mentalism. And you must change your mentality. Because a change of mind is a change of destiny. So my brother and my sisters, this message is to awake that eye in you. To awake the genie in you. To awake your God self, your higher self. To come to the ninth power. Going beyond the 7 chakras. And experience yourself of that, like that fire above your head. As in what they would have told you in Acts chapter 2. Tongues of cloven fire over your head. And for you to hear that unearthly wind, which is actually that great and mighty rushing wind in Acts chapter 2, coming to a higher place of consciousness. All of that is dealing still with the great intelligence, the I. And that I is called the remembrancer. It tells you that you will be empowered from on high. And all things will come back to your remembrance. The Akashic record will be open to you. You realize that you are a solar being. You have a soul. That soul is a spark of light. And that is the sun in you. So my brothers and my sisters, don't be ignorant concerning the eye above the pyramid and the US dollar. Those know that, those who put it in nose, it represents the eye of the seer, the eye of the mystics, the prophets, the wise ones. Those who would understand that they are spiritual astronauts. That is why I show the pyramid haven't been capped. It's floating. Spiritual astronauts going beyond the eagles. The eagle fly higher than any other bird. And it have microscopic and telescopic vision. But you have a vision that is beyond that. Because you realize you come from eternity. Trapped in time. Now you can move from time into eternity. And you understand that the greatest frontier or the final frontier of transportation is translation. And that is why when this single eye opens within you, you will change from mortal to immortality. That's why the Bible tells you it will happen in a twinkling of an eye. That twinkling of an eye is the eye of Horus. The eye that would awaken you. And our ancestors knew all of that way back in Kemet. And that is why they all knew about reincarnation. And they all knew about mummifying the dead. They all knew about the resurrection. And they spoke about the resurrection of Osiris and so on. So my brothers and my sisters, it is very important to understand that the things that you're reading in the scriptures It was borrowed from Kemet. And you must get in touch with the spirituality of your ancestors. So my brother and my sisters, I just want to say to you, there's no need for you to fear of the single eye. There's no need for you to believe anyone who's speaking foolishness concerning the symbol of the single eye. And that is why many times when you see me here speaking, you see me have on my vest with my march. I didn't put it on today. Okay? And you will see the single eye and even the element of wind is agreeing with me. The element of fire is agreeing with me, in me. The element of water, earth, and spirit, everything is agreeing with me. So as I was saying, when you look at the printing, you see it's the pyramid and the eye in the pyramid. You are that pyramid. It is the statue of a perfect man, an enlightened man, an awakened man, one who is linked to the infinite, one who would have moved from that place of descending into generation and ascending into regeneration. That's why the journey of life is from humanity to divinity. And when the eye opens within you, then you'll move to your divinity. And you'll understand the Jesus and Mary story. How is a deception when it's been given to you as literal and as secular history. Because when that eye awakes within you, you will experience the virgin birth. You will experience the resurrection. And you'll be able to tell your brothers and your sisters concerning Matthew 6:22 that it is the single eye, yes, the single eye message of self-realization, whereby it says, if I be single, your whole body will be full of light. And my brother and my sisters, when that eye opened within you, it would be after that great and mighty shaking, and you would have heard that unearthly wind, then you will ascend like a fiery being, and you will come out of your skull and become invisible, become one with the wind, and you will realize that you have experienced your Christ consciousness. Then you will understand why the ancients, why they had mystery schools, and those who would have gone to that level, they were called Christ. And you have a Christ among you in terms of one who would have preceded you in the awakening, but not greater than you, not beyond you, because all of us must come to that journey. But there are those who must reach that place of the journey before you to tell you where you need to go. So it's just a signpost. That is why you must not merge the messenger with the message and end up with an idol, worshiping someone outside of yourself. So my brother, my sisters, that's the reason why I always point you to look within yourself and say to you that when you have this awakening of which I would have spoken about, where you burst your crown chakra and become invisible, you'll also realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For truly the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun, a S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. Truly, common sense will teach you that the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity. For the Son is what powers all of humanity and give all of humanity its energy. And that is why you must respect the fact that the Bible is the Son book, the S-U-N book, not the S-O-N. Because no S-O-N could ever be the light of the world. Because a S-O-N can never exist unless there first be the S-U-N. And that is why Malachi chapter 4 and verses 2 also tells you that the Son, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness, shall arise in you with healing in his wings. Therefore, the Son of righteousness means that righteousness can only be discovered by discovering the light in you, the sun in you. the giver of our life in you. And then it says it will bring healing. And that's why I'm bringing healing to all of humanity. Pointing each and every one to look inwardly and to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And also to remember to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which is the sexual power. Use that power and bring that power up to your crown chakra and your third eye chakra, and use it to achieve your every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.